Yasmina Ramzy is the artistic director and founder of Arabesque Dance Company, a belly dance company that's been in Toronto for over 20 years. She's not your typical Egyptian dancer. She's got blonde hair, looks a little bit like she's from California, and her approach to belly dancing is also very different. She wanted to get away from seeing it just being used as a form of entertainment in clubs. She wanted to bring it to the main stage and also explore themes that are often not used with belly dancing, spiritual themes. I really think she's taken belly dancing to another level.
The thing that is interesting and fascinating about belly dancing is that it's got this whole air and mystique about it, and the movements are beautiful and sensual.
There is something so quintessentially seductive about this dance on a visual level, on an emotional level, on an auditory level. And I have yet to meet the person who isn't totally seduced by just all the elements that go into belly dance.
It's hard to explain. I have to move when I hear the music.
For me, belly dancing is an expression of love, completely, in all ways. And that's why it has such a sensual aspect to it, because obviously sexuality, sensual is such a big part of love. I feel when a belly dancer completely is passive, meaning she allows the music to work with her, she's completely feeling one with the audience and completely reacts off the audience. And it's like this interaction that happens, just completely open. It's like a feeling of being in love.
I remember when I was about 10 years old walking into a dance studio, and it was like coming home. And I'm wondering if you had that experience.
There's been different stages in my life with different dance that's happened. With Oriental dance, belly dancing, it happened a night in a nightclub here in Toronto where I was taken because it was Egyptian place, and I was interested in ancient Egypt, etc. And there was this moment where this dancer came on stage, and the way the music, I'd never heard these quarter tones and music and these strange instruments and the drums, and the people were very, very lively and very emotional. And this dancer comes on stage, and she has long black hair, beautiful eyes, and very mesmerizing dance. And that was it. I was just, I was obsessed.
Belly dancing has become kind of very popular. And in some ways, I'm sure it has opened the doors, but in some ways, maybe it also is maybe not so good for the art form. So tell me a little bit what you feel the popularity of belly dancing has done to the art form.
In many ways, I'm happy, and I dreamed about this day because, 26 years ago, if I said what I do, people go, what? And usually I just say, oh, I'm an accountant. It wasn't worth trying to explain it. So I'm very happy that I can tell somebody I'm a belly dancer, and they know what I do. Their mother or their sister or somebody does it. And also business-wise, it's given me a source of income to pay for all these productions I try and do. But at the same time, very recently, it's become commercialized very much.
I think belly dancing is a really difficult form of dance to gain legitimacy amongst contemporary dancers. And I think there's a very specific reason why. It lands in this funny place of it's cultural dance, it has folk history, it has a people's history and people's music that is very specific to areas. And I think that it also holds a place in entertainment. And then there are those who also have elevated it to an art form where it's done in theater context. With those three things colliding at once, it's very hard for find one singular voice.
A lot of people have the wrong idea on belly dancing. I often don't even tell people that I'm a belly dancer. I tell them I teach children's dance classes, which I do too, or I just tell them I'm a dance instructor. Many people, especially Westerners, they think belly dancers are genies. People don't understand that you actually have to go to school and train. It's a trained art. It's not just, wiggling around in a sparkly costume.
Okay, so now as soon as you come back this way, start to open, but not too far. Just slowly, 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 so it doesn't get there until the end when you've got to do all your other stuff. Is that okay? Okay. I choreograph for 2 different reasons and 2 different kinds of choreographies. One is very traditional or traditionally based, and one is trying to express other visions that I have that are usually spiritually based. When I try to express the spiritually based choreographies, those ones, I just go with whatever my body comes out with. I kind of like get myself into a zone or get myself completely into the frame of mind of the message I'm trying to give, and then the movement comes out of me. 90% of that movement will look like belly dance movement because that's 90% of how I dance. A little bit of ballet touches here and there, but it's mostly Middle Eastern movement. You're going to stay there, but you're going to try and get on that side of Lisa as soon as possible, and you're getting on this side of Sawa, right? As soon as possible. Okay, ready? Go and skip. And. Perfect. Yeah, so you see, as you're turning around, you're already there.
I think whenever you're talking about belly dancing today, it's fusion. Anybody who claims that there's one authentic type of belly dancing, that they are doing it, is ridiculous. You go to Egypt, and you see that women there are incorporating Brazilian movements, incorporating ballet, and all sorts of different types of dance. It is constantly evolving on some level.
Okay, so we've got to take the hand, we've got to curl it under and go like that so you end up like that and stay like that.
What Yasmina's doing is, you know, she lived in Egypt for a long time and learned from some masters there, and she's taken that and perfected certain movements and made a repertoire and a language that is very much her own. And so we become I think, the executors of a grander vision that incorporates also her history of ballet and jazz and different dance forms. I think that's true of any dance form.
In my company, I think compared to modern dancers or ballet dancers, they're a little more voluptuous, but they're not as much as the old-style belly dancer when I started dancing. They're too skinny for that. For my dancers, I don't look for an aesthetic. I look at who has the skill to be able to dance well and has stage presence. We're in a Tibetan Buddhist monastery. It's in northeast Ontario, and I come up here on Christmas, special occasions, and special kind of Tibetan Buddhist celebrations, just to kind of recharge myself. Always when I come here, I never want to leave. It's hard for me to get the impetus to come, but once I'm here, I'm like, why would I ever want to leave? It's so peaceful, so beautiful here. Spirituality in my life has been there since, I guess, about 13, 14 years old, and has been on and off, very prominent or not. For many years, it was all my life. That's all I did. When I started doing belly dancing in my early 20s, then I thought I was leaving this way of life and getting into rhinestones and nightclubs, etc. But you can never leave it. You know, it's always, I see through these eyes that I've been taught to see through, and I can't help seeing the world in certain ways. So as I get older, I'm tending to more go back towards kind of coming to terms with that and sort of living in that more spiritual point of view and not trying to run away from it all the time. And now with a nice straight spine, hole driven through the middle of you, just rotate the hips. Try to keep the rib cage still, so it's not the whole torso twisting, it's just the hips from below the belly button, and the rib cage stays still.
What about teaching? Is that something that you're passionate about?
I really enjoy teaching belly dancing. It's very, very special, and I really feel that it has an effect on women, and it enhances their self-esteem and changes their life. You talk to anybody who's taken belly dance classes, 3 months into it, they'll tell you their life has changed dramatically. I love watching that process. it's so beautiful when these girls come in and they're like this, and they, you know, they don't feel good. And then you see them 3 months later and they're walking like this, and they're very comfortable in their body and very happy with themselves, and they start to change their life and do things that they would never feel they could do before. And I'm really excited to watch that and be part of that process.